It's week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Miami Dolphins taking on the Las Vegas Raiders.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the sight of their Dolphins emerging from the Hard Rock Stadium tunnels, and we are ready to go as the Dolphins get set to match up with the Las Vegas Raiders. Football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. The Raiders set to go to work behind their veteran quarterback, and that's Derek Carr.
It's been fun to watch his development through the years, and right now what you see is a very confident quarterback who has a strong sense of self, totally understands the offense, and knows how to get the ball to his playmakers on the run.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. These guys hooking up right away here, Charles. 2 plays, both passes in his direction, and both catches.
And in our time together, have we not seen the tight end position continue to develop in the passing game? You know, at some point, we may not call them tight ends anymore. We may have to come up with an entirely different way of designating that position and what they do on the field. Because when I hear tight end, I think of the old school, hand in the dirt, blocking on the line of scrimmage. These guys are much more receiver than they are guys who are going to move in the running game.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 46. Now Carr. Oh, looking for Waller, but this is intercepted. Picked off at the 45. 20. But he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game, getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And Hill will opt for the touchback. Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession and looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick 6 for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick 6, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
He takes us from the 30 to the 34.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. to run for it with Jacobs. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season.
A contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And he will be taken down deep in Las Vegas territory. It's a big play there for Miami.
Well, if you pull up his college highlight reel, you will see no shortage of great throws, and here's one in his NFL debut for big yardage.
And this is going to be a big test early in his career. How accurate can he be on throws like this? If he keeps doing that, he's going to be just fine.
Well, that didn't take long. 1 play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. And a nice pick up there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we're looking at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. Gaskin again. Then he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Myles Gaskin taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
Sanders on for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it was capped off by a Myles Gaskin touchdown run.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Hill going to think better of bringing this one out, and the drive will start at the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field.
And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? The turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways. called as penalties.
On second down, it's Jacobs. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. Carr now to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Deron Payne able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And taken right at the 35.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return.
And it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their second drive. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season. And they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Gaskin. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Westbrook over the middle, complete. That's Griffin.
A nice completion there for the first down. And, Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game, has his team right on the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day 1.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Westbrook. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
A nice throw right there. And these fans getting their first look at their QB1 of the future. And I'd imagine it's got to be a big plus for him to get his first start here in front of that home crowd.
I know there's a school of thought about getting your first start away from home so you don't have the extra pressure of that crowd behind you. But I say ride the wave, embrace it. Go ahead and play to that level, and I think it's going to benefit him in the long run.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. They'll run now with Gaskin, and he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another 1st and goal. This is Gaskin on the carry, and he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. They'll try to run this one in. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Myles Gaskin with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Dolphins are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter. He's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here. And I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Hill going to sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On second down, Jacobs. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected pass.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
Certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time: completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. 21-0 our score after 1. The previous run good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Back to throw. Westbrook. Here's Griffin on the catch. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another completion there. And we think back to the draft in the spring. This franchise essentially handing him the keys to the operation. A top 5 pick. Charles, how ready do you think he is?
I think he's ready for the NFL in terms of size, speed, the makeup of him, the character of him. The key's going to be, will this team accept everything he brings to the game and adapt to it, not just necessarily plug him into something that he doesn't do well.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Gaskin. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 49 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down. Going to give this time to the tailback. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Myles Gaskin on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Dolphins are able to add on to their first-half lead. So what a first half that he has had running the football. That now 3 touchdown runs.
And I would anticipate that when they get down in the red zone, he's going to get more chances as this game goes on. And I think that the guys blocking for him are going to ask for him to get more chances. They like the rhythm they've developed.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 28-0. After the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And Hill will opt for the touchback.
Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse.
Noah Igbenogany that time up to make the play defensively.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
Here's Carr to throw.
He'll swing that out wide to Jacobs.
And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 20. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Myles Gaskin and the rest of the Dolphin offense ready to get back to work here.
And I think he'll like this little montage. He's hit.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively, and it'll bring up second down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Looking to throw. Westbrook. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Yannick Ngakoue with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
That's a step in the right direction defensively here, because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction. And that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them. And now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And now a low liner. I think he mishit him. And this ball is going to be touched down just shy of midfield. Football 101, you've got to let the guy catch the ball.
You have to know the ball is there. You have to know it's arrived. Otherwise, you're going to get flagged every time.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Well, the screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man you can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
The Carr's throw complete here to Waller. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Jacobs.
And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Myles Gaskin and the rest of the Dolphin offense ready to get back to work here. It may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And to give this time to the tailback. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 87 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Coming in, he really likes his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Right back to him on first down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at the half, we'll hand things off to Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have scores from earlier today, plus a look ahead as well, so you won't want to miss that. A lot going on here in week 1. Man open, that's Henry Ruggs. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 41-yard line. Another completion there, and what a big moment in a young quarterback's life, that first NFL start. And Charles, obviously they want him to win games, but if they're looking at him under a microscope in this first month or so, what do you think they're hoping to see from it?
Well, for every question they'll have for him, they should have for themselves as a coaching staff, because it's not just how quickly can he learn the offense, it's what they can teach him, right? How can he build a relationship with his receivers? And, of course, how open is he to learning? And, of course, how open are they to giving him things that he can put in place on the field? Partner, in our years together, we've never really run into a player that's admitted a doubt or a lack of confidence, right? But right now, I'm just wondering about that interior line, because on defense, they're starting to get manhandled at the point of attack. Do they have it in them to figure a way to reverse the tide? Because right now, they're running the ball at will.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Westbrook. And he'll find Ruggs on the right side. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Westbrook. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to ball his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. Myles Gaskin on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. A short kick taken at the 18. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. The Raider offense heading back for one final first-half drive. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively, and it's second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Emmanuel Ogbah. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, good to get another season underway. We'll get back to you guys for the second half of the season opener. But first, let's take a look at what's still to come here in the opening weekend of the NFL season. Plenty of good games to choose from in that early window. We'll highlight the one down in Tampa, a big test for the Bucs at home, as they'll square off against the New York Jets. Good games in the late afternoon as well. We'll stay out east and highlight the matchup at MetLife Stadium, where it'll be the Giants taking on the New England Patriots. And lastly, Monday Night Football has a good one lined up between the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Now Bolden on the return. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good, soft in spots. And there's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. And to give this time to the tailback. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
104 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Another run with Gaskin, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And he's going to be met at about the 43.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Back to throw. Westbrook. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air. And I'm not sure that he didn't. But he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Deron Payne bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Carr. That's caught. It's Brian Edwards. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And a throw there going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And taken right on the 30. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Myles Gaskin and the rest of the Dolphin offense ready to get back to work here.
I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Throwing to start the drive, Westbrook. And he will find his man Ruggs. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Henry Ruggs, 54 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead will swell by one more. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Hill going to think better of bringing this one out, and the drive will start at the 25. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweat.
And the Dolphins rush, gets home, down he goes. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and that will come the offense as they take over. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Working with a 2nd and 3. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it down to the play to the 37.
124 yards rushing for him now here in week 1. A very solid start to this new campaign.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense.
Handoff here to Nwangu.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Watch the pass. Watch my board. Watch my board. Watch my board. Watch the run. Watch the run. What's up, baby? That's big.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He finds some open field here. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Check the backer. Check the backer.
And to give this time to the tailback. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
They can't hang with us. Mine's 54. Mine's 54. It's our time. It's our time, guys.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Myles Gaskin taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Dolphins have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen coming out to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will extend this big lead. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it was capped off by a Myles Gaskin touchdown run.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Hill going to sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Tackle. 55 is my guy.
Looking to throw. Wyatt. And his throw here's incomplete.
Had an open man that time and ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Wyatt. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. Miami set to take over. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Looking to throw. Westbrook. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
A hole to dig out of here, 2nd and 17. Back to throw. Westbrook. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down.
57's the light. Mark 57. Check tight end. Check tight.
Looking to throw. Westbrook. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who could make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Play action. Wyatt. That is incomplete. Now, the intended receiver that time was Josh Jacobs. And that takes us from second to third down.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Back to throw. Wyatt, and this is going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. Fielded just inside the 30. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Now a handoff here to his running back. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Gaskin again on second down. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Dolphins on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. On the give is Nwangu. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And then when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the run is Nwangu. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
To throw on second down, Westbrook. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Waddle, 48 yards. And the Dolphins are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. So this looking more and more like it is going to be a successful kickoff to their campaign as they add on here.
And partner, you know NFL coaches coaches, they're on the sideline thinking about all the little things that need correcting. But for the most part, they've got to be ecstatic with the way this season has started out.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by one more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And Hill will opt for the touchback. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this fourth quarter. On 1st and 10, Wyatt. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Deron Payne make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Looking to throw. Wyatt, he finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. The Raiders on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. And he completes it to Westbrook. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. Miami's offense set and ready to go. It has been quite a display here in the opening game of the new season. And really, they're putting the rest of the NFL on notice. They are going to be title contenders as now they look to finish things off in the fourth quarter. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. First play's a run with Nwangu. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Working with a 2nd and 4.
Pull it together. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Another run now for Nwangu.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And to give this time to the tailback. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That was a good forceful run, and it demonstrates why you've got to put your body on a runner when you're trying to tackle him. If you just go in there and just try and get him down with arm tackles, usually doesn't work very well, and we saw in that play, he'll run right through those attempted plays.
Four yards remain for 2nd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
was a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
I got you. Check 31. Check 31.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Coming up on 2nd and 7.
54, Mike. Pick me up. Here we go. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4. Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
They'll run with Nwangu. Space to run past the 20. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
I got it. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Here we go, D. All day. Defense all day. All day.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time. Looking at week 1, oh good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Got 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Hill going to think better of bringing this one out, and the drive will start at the 25. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And no doubt this is not the way that they had hoped to open their season. Thoroughly outplayed here in front of the national audience. On 1st down, Wyatt, he finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wyatt.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver. At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a third down.
Back to throw again. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. Dolphins offense returning to the field. And this is really the start to the season that you're hoping for if you're a coach or a player. They've got the big lead here in the fourth quarter, and now can really take some time off the clock. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll start on the ground here with Nwangu. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. Now it's Nwangu. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. On second down, here's Nwangu. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
57's Mike. Mike 57. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's able to break through one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
2nd and 10.
57's the Mike. 57's the Mike.
Nwangu. And a solid run down inside the 30. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Here's Nwangu. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Dolphins, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.